Om Sadashiva-samārambhāṃ Shankarācārya-madhyamāṃ Asmadācārya-paryantām Vandē Guru-paraṁparāम्. Shruti-smriti-purāణānaम् Ālayam Karuణālayam Namāmi Bhagavad-pādam Shankaram Loka-shankaram Shankaram Shankarācāryam Keshavam Badarāyanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagini Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Prashnottara Ratnamalika, the text by Acharya Shankaracharya, focuses on a value-based life. So we have been seeing question and answers on how to add value to our life. And so we found all these qualities: Shraddha, devotion, humility, Satyam, Dhanam, and especially Satsanga. Now, Satsanga is the root. Yeah? And so we find that this is nothing new. This is the timeless wisdom that has been coming down for ages. And it appears even more relevant in modern times. No? Remember the question we had, Kam Sampadyam Manujaihi, what is to be earned by a person or people? Vittam, Yashas, Balam, Punyam, Vidya. Yeah? So everything was given, is to be given a priority. But today we find the focus is on what? Vittam. Yeah? Come what may, I have to be at the top. Yeah? So wealth is given so much importance. No? But Shankaracharya says, if we don't balance with Balam and Viryam, Punyam, Yashas, all the other things, we will never find the fulfillment in life that one is seeking. Yeah? So this is the flow of all the question and answers that we have seen so far. And we have completed 38 verses. And today we will move on to the 39th verse. So as usual, we will chant the shloka first. And then, as you know, there are a couple of questions embedded in the shloka. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. So this is number 39. Ka kalpalata loke satchishyayarpita vidya Satchishyayarpita vidya ko kshayavatavrikshah syat vidhivat sat patra dattadanam yat ka kalpalata loke satchishyayarpita vidya ko kshayavatavrikshah syat vidhivat sat patra dattadanam yat. So here there are 2 questions here and important questions. Let us take a look. First is loke. In this world, ka kalpalata. Kalpalata means kalpa we saw in the Gita, the duration tenure of Brahma. Yeah? So kalpalata is a creeper like kalpataru, kalpavrikshaha. What is the wish fulfilling tree in this world? Yeah. And the answer Acharya gives is the knowledge, Sat Shishyaya Arpita Vidya, the knowledge that is passed on to a deserving Shishya. Then let's look at quickly the questions and then we will spend more time on the answers. Then Kaha Akshaya Vatavrikshaha Syat. Vatavriksha, is a banyan tree. So what is the Akshaya banyan tree? imperishable banyan tree. Value of Dhanam, giving gifts to a deserving person. Yeah. So the question is, what is it that will yield all our desires? Ultimately, we have seen how Manaha eva karanam bandha moksha will uplift me also. Same mind. Yeah? Mind is my best friend, my worst enemy also. So if the mind is educated, purified, uplifted, informed, it can give me all the sattvic desires. Yeah, and the same mind can pull me down also. But here, have you noticed how the questions can have more than one answer, depending on what is the angle? And Acharya takes the Shastra angle. So what is the Kalpalata, wish fulfilling tree? Answer was given as Yat Shishyaya Arpita Vidya. Satshishyaya. Satshishyaya means to a student who becomes a patra, who deserves what? This knowledge. Yeah, like all of us. When we are connected with the sampradaya. So this answer is about the glory of a sampradaya. And the word sampradaya means samyak diyate give a guru student. And then it becomes a guru and it continues. So the Jnana Pravaha comes to this live teaching tradition. We have access to the knowledge. Okay, internet issue. Yeah. So I was saying that it is the glory of this teaching tradition, which is actually not available in any other country except Bharatadesha. Where you have this either Karna Parampara by word of mouth that the teaching continues. So even today, we are linked to Vedavyasa and to Narayana because Narayana taught the same Upadesha to the sun. Aham Vivaswan, Bhagavan has said in chapter 4. Yeah. So here the question is how the knowledge continues. There is a Jnana Pravaha, and because of the glory of the Parampara, that becomes a Kalpa Lata, which will give me Vidya, and with the Vidya Balam, I can gain anything in life. Yeah. So that is the Kalpa Lata in this world. Then the second question in verse 39 was, Kaha Akshaya Vatavrikshaha Syat. What is the banyan tree likened to a banyan tree? We know that a banyan tree is huge, and because it absorbs a lot of heat, I think 70 to 80% of the heat, and it gives shade. So because of its giving nature, the answer here is when we do dhanam, a sattvic dhanam to a deserving person, then that is like a banyan tree which gives shade and oxygen and all these, healing nature. So those were the two questions in verse number 39. Now let's go to 40. Kim shastram sarvesham, kim shastram sarvesham, yuktihi, mata chaka, dhenuho, kim nubalam, yat dhairyam, kaha mrityuhu, yat avadhana rahitatvam. Kim Shastram Sarvesham Yuktihi Mata Chaka Dhenuhu Kinnu Balam Yad Dhairyam Kaha Mrityuhu Yad Avadhana Rahitatvam. Here there are, I think, 4 questions. So, verse number 40 is, what is the weapon? Shastram Kim Sarvesham. Shastram is actually a weapon that is held in the hand. But astram is which is thrown, like a javelin, is thrown from the hand. As dhatu. So shastram, astram, both are weapons, but there is this distinction. So what is the weapon for everybody? Yeah, is it a pepper spray? It is a Swiss knife, or a gun? No. Acharya says it is yuktihi. Yeah. The greatest weapon is buddhir balam, reason. We'll come to that. Then, who is the mother of all? Mata ka. Mata ka is dhenuhu, go mata. Yeah. So here we see that, why does one have a shastram? For self-defense, right? To protect oneself. So here Acharya says, how can we protect ourselves? What is the ultimate shastra? It is viveka. It is the capacity to discriminate, reasoning power. If I have the conviction, this is right, this is wrong, this is pro-dharma, this is anti-dharma, then I am wearing the jnana kavacham, is it not? Then I am protecting myself. So that is the yukti talked about here. Yeah. So there are various degrees of balam, no? Bahu balam, mano balam, buddhir balam, atma balam. So this is the power of the intellect. Yeah. A mature, informed, sattvic intellect can protect me from harm, from the destruction in the end. That is the greatest weapon. Then Mata Chaka, who is like a mother. Yeah. That is Gomata. And we all know how highly valued Gomata is in our culture. Godanam, Goshalas, Go Rakshanam is there, Go Puja. For Graha Pravesham, a cow is brought in, and then worshipped before we move into the house. And also all the gifts that a cow gives. All these Panchagavyaha, and today Amazon is selling all these cow dung cakes are available, and people are valuing it, more and more. So that is the nature of the cow. And whenever we do, whatever we can do for Go Rakshanam, then that is very highly meritorious. Yeah? And so that is truly a mother. Mata Chaka, then that is mother. Then there are 2 more questions here. Kim no balam. Yeah. What is strength? Kim no balam. Yeah. So the answer is yat dhairyam. One's own courage. Now, this courage can be defined in many ways. Gita, we find that courage is what? Samatvam yoga uchyate. The spiritual immunity, the balance of mind to face any situation, with calmness is courage. And also the independence, the emotional independence can be defined as courage. Fearlessness is courage. So all the self-confidence, samatvam, all this can come under balam. And who will give me that balam? Shastra alone. Shastra will develop that balam in us. Then the last question in the shloka 40 was Kaha Mrityuhu. What is a figurative death? What is it that is dying every moment? Is absence of care, a lazy attitude. And here in Sanskritam, we found avadhana rahitatvam. See, when I don't pay attention and I don't take care of the various priorities in my life, let's say time, I don't respect time, then time will slip away from my hands. And that is like a slow death. If I don't take care of the body, health, my possessions, they will also just lie around and gather dust and be destroyed. So what is death is lack of care. This is the answer Acharya gives for us. Then we go to 41. Kutra visham dushtajane, kutra visham dushtajane, kim iha ashaucham, kim iha ashaucham, bhavet rinam nrinam, bhavet rinam nrinam, kim abhayam iha vairagyam, bhayam api kim vittam eva sarvesham. Easy was to understand, no? Let's see the questions here. Here again, 4 questions are there. 41. Kim Visham Iha. Visham is poison. No? So what is like poison? Again, there can be more than one answer. One answer, was given as anything we do in extreme is poison. Yeah? So a healthy medium, the golden mean is very valuable. But here, Acharya, what is the answer Acharya gives is Dushtajane. Dushtajane means Dushtajanas, in people who are given to crime, the offenders, which means lack of satsanga. Avoid them like poison. Yeah. And then we have Kim iha ashaucham bhavet. What is ashaucham? Lack of cleanliness or malam. And the answer is rinam rinam. Nr means human being. So for the humans, rinam means debts. Yeah? So we will examine these questions now. So kutra visham, what is poison is, see how when we fall into bad company, is it not like slow poison? No, we will get it'll be infected, the minds will be infected, and then the conduct, everything gets affected, and then finally that is the path to downfall. Yeah. And so in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, it is said, there are all kinds of people in the world. Some are greater than me, who are highly accomplished and meritorious people. So my attitude should be what? Admiration. Muditaha. I should delight in their company. Then there are others like colleagues and friends, and whom I am equal to them. Then there is Maitri, friendship. Yeah? Then there are some less fortunate than me. They have less assets, less things, less privileged. Then what should my attitude be? Karuna. Yeah? But then there are people like Dushtajanas who are opposed to me because of the mind. Yeah? And they are opposed to dharma and they are the offenders. Then what should my attitude be? Apeksha. Apeksha means to ignore them. Yeah? Now, unless we can change them, nobody can really change. Change comes from within. But in a Mahatma's presence, even a Dushtajana can be changed. Yeah? But if we don't have a powerful mind, then it is better to ignore, draw our boundaries and stay away from them, because that will work like poison in my life. So ultimately, the gist of this answer is have satsanga always. Yeah? And the satsanga only will enable me to grow and in the right direction and seek the truth with like-minded seekers. Yeah? So these 4 attitudes are beautifully discussed in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Then the other question we saw was, what is shaucham, ashaucham, malam here? And the answer was debt. Debt. And those of us, those of you who are paying the EMIs, how when you have to pay the EMIs, it's like a virus in the mind. There'll be constant anxiety. I have to pay off the debt. I have to pay off the debt. So there will be worry and the mind will be affected, and that is the impurity Shankaracharya says be very careful about. try not to be obliged to anybody. That is why there is a yama called aparigraha. So the yogis and the jnanis, they don't even accept gifts from others. Why? Because first of all, the gift can come with some agenda in the mind, may not be sattvic. Then my mind will be affected by their karma. Yeah? So the wise people don't accept gifts for two reasons. First, they don't want to accumulate. And second is they want to keep the mind free from being obliged to others. They want a mind that is free to focus on the Shastra Tattvam and hence aparigraha. Yeah. So to be free from this give and take attitude, which in Vyavahara happens a lot. If I give something, then there will be an expectation. At some point, this person will return the favor to me, and that pollutes the mind because the giving was not free. So the jnanis give unconditionally, but they are very careful to accept. They will not accept. Our Swamiji here, Tattvavidanandaji, the moment we bring something for him, he will at once start distributing. He'll say, come here, you take this. Be it vastram, fruits, anything. Yeah. Because they want to keep the mind very focused. Yeah. Then we have two more questions, I think, here, which is, what is abhayam? Sorry, this should be what accounts for absence of fear, not fear. Abhayam iha kim? Yeah. And the answer is vairagyam, dispassion, which we know, heard a lot about it. Then what is bhayam? Bhayam apikim? What is fear? And the answer is wealth. This is also a very expected answer. Yeah. So here, abhayam. Abhayam, how can I remain fearless? And Shastra says the only way is to have a healthy relationship, healthy perspective on everything, including my body. What is that healthy perspective? That I am a trustee. I don't own anything. Wealth is given to me, property is given to me, body is given to me, buddhi is given to me. So I make the best use of it, and I take everything, I make use of it for what it is, neither more nor less. Money is useful to me. I don't, avoid money. Money pays the bills, yeah, but I don't I don't have the greed for more and more money. Yeah. So this vairagyam is this right attitude. Swamiji has the word objectivity. Means taking a thing for what it is. Yeah? And that is the true detachment, which is born of viveka. Now, vairagyam and viveka are like twins. They always go together. And then the second question we saw was, bhayam apikim? Then what is the source of fear? The source of fear is wealth. Wealth means excessive wealth is mentioned here. There's a Subhashitam which says, along with wealth comes what? Raja bhayam, chora bhayam, mitra bhayam, bandhu bhayam, nashta bhayam. So which means if I have a lot of wealth, then there'll be a fear of income tax rates, Raja bhayam. So the state is on the prowl always, who can we raid next? That is the bhayam. Then mitra bhayam, bandhu bhayam is, I will be more sought after. A wealthy person, everybody will come to ask for loans and favors, and then that will be taken away. Then nashta bhayam, there's fear of theft. So I have to find ways to protect the wealth. Yeah. And so these are the different fear that is seen with the wealth. Yeah, this is the fear. So ultimately the fear is there because of attachment. And so dispassion is really the key to abhaya. Then we go to 42. Ka durlabha naranam, ka durlabha naranam, hari bhaktihi, patakam chakim, himsa, patakam chakim, himsa. Ko hi bhagavat priyah syat, ko hi bhagavat priyah syat, yah anyam no dvijet, yat anudvignaha. Here there are, I think, 3 questions. Ka durlabha naranam. Narana, for the humans, what is difficult, durlabham, to accomplish for a human? An answer given by Acharya is Hari Bhaktahi, devotion to the Lord. Yeah. Then the other question is, what is Patakam? Pataka means downfall. What is the most terrible crime? And answer is Himsa, cruelty. Yeah. So these 2 questions, we see very often emphasized in the Gita also. Yeah. What is the most difficult to accomplish is that Nishkama Bhakti. We have seen how there are Artha Bhaktas, Arthartha Bhaktas. But where is the Bhakta devotee who wants only the Lord and nothing else? So that is very, very rare, yeah, difficult. Parama Prema Swarupa, devotion to the Lord. Yeah? And so that requires a lot of humility, trust in Ishvara, that the prarabdha has to continue. So I do what is to be done, and Bhagavan takes care of everything else. Will provide my needs. Yeah. So there is a sense of relaxation. Yeah. Even though there is responsibility, I perform my duties, but at the same time, I'm relaxed that I am not really in charge. That is called the difficult stage of mature devotion. Then Patakam Chakim. What is the worst crime? Is Himsa. Himsa means violence or cruelty in all the 3 levels: thought, word, and deed. Yeah. And also, Himsa is not only towards the environment. Sometimes we see teenage boys will be hitting stones at animals, or plucking branches of trees. All this is Himsa. Pujya Swamiji once said, I don't pluck even a leaf or a flower from a tree for a puja. Whatever has already fallen down, like parijata, any champakam, I pick them and offer it to the Lord. So look at the degree of sensitivity. Yeah? And the answer given by Acharya was, Yaha anyan na udvijet na anudvignaha. So the one who does not cause disturbance to the environment, but also there is no internal himsa. Some people will go on criticizing, self-criticism. I'm good for nothing, nobody likes me. What can I do in life? This kind of negative self-talk, self-criticism is an internal himsa. Yeah? The Swamiji will say, you validate yourself, appreciate yourself, you love yourself, and you look at the mirror every day and say, you are the best, I love you, I trust you. And so don't wait for approval from the world. So this himsa towards the world and himsa towards oneself, both is a crime, patakam. So let us be kind to the mind and kind to the surroundings as well. Yeah. Then there was another question here. Kahahi Bhagavat Priyaha Syat. Yeah. Kahahi Bhagavat Priyaha Syat. Who is beloved to the Lord? Yeah. And the answer is Yaha Anyan na Udvije na Anudvignaha. The one who is neither disturbed by others nor disturbs others. Yeah. Loka no dvijate. Lokaha, there is a shloka in chapter 12 of the Gita, defines the wise person as the one who neither disturbs others nor will be disturbed. See, the second part is easier, don't you think, than the first part? With the more I study the Shastra and live a Shastra-based life, I can, have this Jnana Kavacham, so I will not be disturbed by the world. But can I prevent the world from being disturbed by me? No, not 100%. Swamiji would say, when he would go to the States for his talks, and everybody would see this bright orange color. Actually, it is called Nalli orange. Nalli has come with this orange color, and for the Veshti and Dhoti. So people will say, look at the strange person wearing this bright orange. The Swamiji will say, look, they are disturbed by this orange color. But I cannot help it. Yeah, so we are not responsible for others being disturbed by us. Yeah, all I can ensure is I will not disturb anybody deliberately. Yeah, in thought, word, or deed. And definitely I can insulate myself from being disturbed. Yeah. So that was the 42. And that is a life of least or no disturbance towards anyone. And when there is the daya, compassion, then this automatically will happen. A life of least or no disturbance to others. 43. Kasmat siddhihi, tapasaha, buddhihi kvanu, bhusure, kutah buddhihi vriddhopasevaya, ke vriddhaha, ye dharma tattvajnaha. So here the questions are, Kasmat Siddhihi. Siddhi means a supernatural power or some form of success. Yoga Siddhis, like how Hanuman had the Ashta Siddhis. Yeah? So by what can success be achieved? Simple answer, tapasaha. Tapas. Tapas means effort, discipline, commitment in the right direction as per dharma. Abhyasa. Then whose buddhi is right? Kvanu buddhihi bhuhu. Whose buddhi is right? And the answer is bhusure. And the word bhusure means those who are gods on earth. Bhusure. Who are the gods on earth? They are the Sattvika Sajjanaha, the Brahmanas. And we know the Brahmanas not by birth, but by guna. Sattva guna pradhana Brahmanas are like gods on earth, and their buddhi is always on the right track. And that is the answer here. Then, same was how to attain this buddhi, the Sattvika buddhi. Again, there are many answers. You might say by sattva, by devotion to the Lord. But Acharya says, vriddhopasevaya, by serving elders. Something that is really going down in our modern times. Our children and grandchildren, they're forgetting how to do namaskarams, forgetting to spend quality time with parents or grandparents, thanks to the mobile technology. So this is attain the buddhi. And we know how by serving elders who are more experienced, more wise, one gets the ashirvadam. Yeah? And that ashirvadam blesses one to attain this buddhi. This is one answer that Acharya gives. Then who are vriddhas, whom we are supposed to serve? Who are elders? Who know the essence of dharma. Dharma tattvajnaha. Dharma tattvam janati iti dharma tattvajnaha. Who are devoted to dharma. Those who know right from wrong. And only such elders can guide the youngsters. So that is number 43. Now we go to 44th. verse. Sambhavitasya maranat adhikam kim. Sambhavitasya maranat adhikam kim. Duryashah bhavati. Duryashah bhavati. Loke sukhi bhavet kaha. Loke sukhi bhavet kaha. Dhanavan. Dhanavan. Dhanamapi cha kim. Dhanamapi cha kim. Yata. Yatascheshtam. Yatascheshtam. Three questions here. Sambhavitasya maranat adhikam kim. What is more painful than death? We've heard only that death is painful. We can't be sure about that. But what is more painful than death is loss of reputation. Loss of character. Then, who is happy in this world? Loke sukhi bhavet kaha. And the answer is the wealthy. Now remember here, the sukham is not atma sukham. Yeah, this is not atma sukham, but this is worldly sukham. So first is sambhavitasya maranat adhikam kim. The one who has earned so much, wealth or fame, and then there is a drop either by prarabdha karma, loss of reputation. How painful it will be not to be respected anymore. That was the first question. So anything causing disrepute. Then Loke, in this world, who is the happy person? Happy means not the Anandam, Atmanandam, but the one who is enjoying worldly Anandam is the wealthy person. Yeah? So wealth is seen as a source of happiness by whom? One who lacks viveka. Yeah? Because ma kuru dhanajana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kalaha sarvam. Acharya has said in Bhajagovindam, don't take pride on all this wealth and all that you have today, yauvanam, dhanam, because they can be snatched away any moment. Yeah? Then there is one more question here. What use is wealth? Dhanam api cha kim? And simple answer is to fulfill our desires. Yataha cheshtam, from which the cheshta or the desires will be fulfilled. So Acharya is pointing out, how the vyavahara is revolving around desires, and for a worldly person, this is the main focus. Then we come to the next verse, number 45. Shloka 45. Sarva sukhanam bijam kim, sarva sukhanam bijam kim, punyam dukkhamapi kim, dukkhamapi kutaha papat, kasya aishwaryam yaha kila, kasya aishwaryam yaha kila, shankaram aradhayet bhaktya, shankaram aradhayet bhaktya. Simple shloka. So then, okay, what is the seed of all sukham? Here we come to the actual sukham, Atma Anandam. Yeah. Then what is the answer? Punyam. Yeah, we know this. And then dukkham api kutaha. From where does dukkham come? Obviously, papat. From papa. Yeah. So here we see that, what is sukham in life? So there are two words, abhyudayaha. Abhyudayaha means the worldly prosperity. If there is a family, I have family punyam, children are doing well, there is no want, yeah, and everything is going well, that is abhyudayaha. And that comes because the family is experiencing punyam, adrishta punya karma phalam from the past. And so another person will experience dukkham. Now, why suddenly some dukkham will manifest in my life? Generally people will when they encounter a difficult situation, they'll say, but I have not done anything wrong in this life. What did I do to deserve this? Why me? Because the dukkham is coming from the adrishta papa karma, from the previous past. Some past janma will be there. So this is what Acharya is saying. A comfortable, happy situation means punyam, you are enjoying the punyam of your own actions of the past. And if we are undergoing a difficult, challenging situation, I am experiencing my own papa karma phala. So both are going to be debited from my account. Yeah. So then I have to top up punyam. So the good thing about a difficult situation is what? When there is suffering, I can console myself and saying that papam is being debited, is being koranjinde vardu papam, So that is a good point, is it not? Then I have to be alert to top up with punyam. So that is the play of life. Every day, papa punyam is unfolding moment by moment, day by day in our lives. Yeah? And of course, the yogi wants to go beyond both. Yeah? Again, papam, again punyam, alternatingly they come in lesser or greater degrees, but I need a janma to exhaust both. So let me go beyond them. And that is the moksha purushartha. So now there is one more question here. Kasya Aishwaryam. Yeah? Kasya Aishwaryam. Aishwarya means glory. Yeah? For whom is there glory? Kasya Aishwaryam. And the answer is Shankaram Aradhayet Bhaktya. The one who does Aradhana of Shiva. Shankaram Aradhayet Bhaktya, with devotion. In other words, who is Shankara? Ashutoshaha. The one who is easily pleased. We saw that in the Gita recently, isn't it? For one who has Nishkama Bhakti, there are no rules. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. The Lord says, that is my greatest bhakta, the one who has Nishkama Bhakta. So for such a person, there is Aishwaryam, who invokes the grace of Ishvara. And that was 45. Now we'll go to 46. Ko vardhate vinitaha ko vahiyeta yo driptaha ko na pratyetavyaha bruteyah cha anritam shashvat. All this ko and yo, you have to convert to kaha and yaha, sandhis. Kaha vardhate vinitaha. Kaha vahiyeta yaha driptaha. Kaha na pratyetavyaha brute yaha cha anritam shashvat. Yeah? So that's for Sanskrit students. Kaha vardhate, who really grows in life? See, we have to appreciate one fact that physical growth will happen by nature. Mother Nature will take care of our physical growth, metamorph. But who is responsible for emotional growth, spiritual growth? I have to take the initiative. Otherwise, I will be an adult, but lacking emotional maturity. Yeah? So who attains high levels? And the answer given is the humble, Vinitaha, who has Vinayam. And we know how this works. Vinitaha means the one who has an open, Shraddha filled mind, who's eager to learn, who's open to counsel, and such a person will make remarkable achievement in life and grow. Yeah, like they say in the corporate sector, attitude makes altitude. Yeah, if there is the right attitude, that will give me the altitude. Yeah. And so here we are climbing the Shastra ladder, not the corporate ladder. And so the next question is, Kaha va hiyeta. Hiyeta means falling down. Now, who is subject to downfall? Simple answer, yaha driptaha. Who has darpa? Darpa means pride. Who is proud and arrogant. Yeah. Pride comes before a fall. We know that English saying. There is one more question in 46 is, Kaha na pratyetavyaha. Who is not to be trusted in life? And answer is Brute Yahacha Anritam Shashvat. The one who utters Anritam always. Shashvat Anritam Yahacha Brute. What is Anritam? Anritam is falsehood. The one who is a habitual liar. And such a person cannot be trusted. Yeah, this is quite easy to understand. Then we go to 47. Putran ritepya papam, putran ritepya papam, yachoktam dharmarakshartham, yachoktam dharmarakshartham, ko dharmabhi mato yah shishtanam nijakulinanam, ko dharmaha abhimatah yah shishtanam nijakulinanam. So here the questions are, Putra anrite api apapam. So when does telling a lie not attract papam? You know, we have been seeing so much about Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Hitam Bruyat. Satyam is, you know, Satyam Eva Jayate is engraved on our parliament and highly, praised. But then, when does telling a lie not attract papam? And the answer is Yatcha Uktam Dharma Rakshartham, for the protection of dharma. Yeah? When a lie is, committed or uttered for the protection of dharma, we'll come to that in a moment. Then what is dharma? Yaha Shishtanam Nija Kulinanam. Nija Kulinanam means one's family traditions, upholding the customs, traditions, the rituals of one's family is Kula Dharma. And that is Dharma here. Now, coming to this important topic of, Ahimsa and Satyam. Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha Satyam Eva Jayate. Very well known to all of us. So Satyam is to be upheld. It is said that the one who is devoted to Satyam for 12 years, the mind becomes so strong that whatever the mind will think about, the sankalpa and the thought will manifest in life. And that is why we seek the company of Mahatmas, because they're devoted to Satyam. So if I go with the sankalpa in my mind, and the Mahatma says, Tathastu, that will happen in my life. That is why people go and seek, for whatever worldly reasons. If it is sattvic, definitely it will manifest in the presence of a Satyavadi Mahatma. Yeah? That is the power of Satyam given to us by the Shastra. And Ahimsa also. Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha. It is said that in the presence of Himsa, even the wild animals lose their Himsa tendencies. They become tame because they sense the compassion of the Mahatmas. Yeah? So here the question is that when does even telling a lie not cause papam? That is when a lie is told in a situation to protect dharma. No, and we saw the story of Yudhishthira. Remember when Ashwathama is, killed, but really the elephant is killed, but they want to spread the news that Ashwathama, the son, is killed. No? So Ashwathama Gajaha Hataha, but that Gajaha is camouflaged by Krishna with the sound of the conch. No? So Yudhishthira had to declare that. Yeah? And so he was protecting dharma on the Kurukshetra battle. So for a higher reason, then this is allowed. But this is a very, very rare exception. So in order to, save a person is, perhaps in the last stage of life, no, then we can still have a comforting word to say, no, you will be fine. The doctor says that you will recover. Something like that. That is a kind of a lie, although you know that that's not the truth. But we are protecting the dharma. Yeah, that is meant here. So sometimes this happens. And ahimsa also, when for the sake of the upliftment of children, the parents have to have strong measures. Sometimes, they have to scold and lock up the child or whatever, deny some dinner or something, so that there is a lesson learned there. So for the future gain, this measure is taken. That does not mean this is himsa. So you see, ahimsa, satyam have to be interpreted by us in that situation. And it is not absolute. Yeah, that is the point to be noted here. Then kaha dharma. Dharma is yaha shishtanam nija kulinanam. All the shishta acharas, karacharam, family traditions and customs that are followed, family traditions, they are the dharma. Again, the dharma is to be understood in the context, Stri dharma, Purusha dharma, Swadharma, Raja dharma, Kula dharma, all these collectively is meant here. Then we come to 48th shloka. Sadhu balam kim, daivam kasadhuhu sarvada tushtaha, kasadhuhu sarvada tushtaha, daivam kim yat sukritam, kaha sukriti, shlaghate chaya sadbhihi, Here there are 4 questions. Sadhu balam kim? See how Acharya will then ask, okay, who's a sadhu? Then and in that answer to who's a sadhu, there'll be a next question. So like that, there's a recursive question and answer sessions here. Who gives strength to a sadhu? What is a sadhu balam? Daiva anugraham. Yeah? Then who is a sadhu? Is one who is sada tushtaha. Yeah? So a sadhu is the one who is a renunciate. Can be a formal sannyasi or a informal grihastha sannyasi, a jnani in any stage of life. If a sadhu has no demands and no expectations, no agenda for anyone, you should be like this, non-judgmental attitude, and who does not disturb the world nor disturbed by the world, who does not expect sukham or dukkham from the world. Why? Sada tushtaha. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. So such a sadhu has total trust in Ishvara and does not depend on the world for nija sukham. Neither will he blame anybody for nija dukkham. Why? Because sukham and dukkham are the twin currents that are going to come in my prarabdha. And they are not really controllable. But what I can control is my response. So the sadhu remains neutral and has ever devotion to the Lord. So here the strength of the sadhu is what? Daiva anugraham. That is, enjoys the protection of the Lord. And that is earned by punyam. Yeah? Then what is Daiva anugraham was another question here. Yat sukritam. So Daiva anugraham, grace, is earned how? By punyam. Yeah? We saw in the Gita also, no? Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamati samahatma sudurlabha. After many lifetimes of tapas and renunciation and satsanga, vichara, viveka, vairagyam, one becomes a Mahatma in the last birth. Yeah. So the Daiva Anugraham that a sadhu enjoys has come from the punyam earned by the past. Yeah? Past noble actions. Then who is the one of noble actions? Yaha shlaghyate sadbihi, one who is praised by learned persons. Yeah? So there were two more questions here. What is Daiva Anugraham? Grace? Punyam. Yeah, Adrishta Punya Karma Phalam. Then who is the one of noble actions? Sukriti Kaha Shlaghete Cha Yaha Sadbihi. One who is praised by learned persons. Yeah? So, you all know that the Shringeri Parampara, the Shringeri Parampara, they have installed a Shankaracharya award. And the first Shankaracharya award was given to Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Yeah? Because Pujya Swamiji is doing such great work in the field of Bhashya, teaching Bhashya and, for 50, 60 years, Swamiji is teaching the same Upanishads, Prakaranas, Gita, Sanskritam, Panini, grammar, to all. Once, people ask Swamiji, why do you do this? Again and again you're teaching. It is a sign of compassion, right? Then Swamiji said, there's only one reason why I teach. Because you ask. That's it. So if there are takers, then there is somebody there to give. Question of supply and demand. Yeah. If there are mumukshus, then the universe will provide a guru to guide the mumukshus and the jignasus. Yeah? So such a person, then we were watching the screen and Shringeri Acharya said very beautifully that, I am considered great, and I am younger than Pujya Swamiji, but it gives me great happiness to give this award to Pujya Swamiji. And Swamiji is so humble, he's much older, but he came forward and humbly prostrated and received it with great humility from the Acharya. So that is meant here. Who is the one of noble actions? Who is praised by other learned people. Yeah. Then we come to the last two shlokas. Grahamedhinaha cha Grahamedhinaha cha mitram kim bharya ko grahi cha yaha yajate kaha yajnaha yaha shrutya vihitaha shreyaskaraha nrinam. So here the question is, Grahamedhinaha means grihastha. Who is the best friend of a grihastha? Come on, let us see. What is your answer? Who is the best friend of a grihastha? And Acharya says bharya or spouse. Yeah? And I'm sure all of you will agree. A supporting spouse, supporting, encouraging, helpful spouse. We say sahadharmini. Bharya is sahadharmini. Or sukh dukh ka sathi. The one who is always there to support me in all kinds of situations is the best friend of a grihastha. Then, who is the grihastha? And the answer is yaha yajate. Yaha yajate is, the first one is, who is the best friend for a grihastha? It is one's own spouse. Yeah. So you see, most of the question and answers are related to the middle stage of life, grihastha stage, which is karma pradhana stage, dharma pradhana stage. And so the best support is one's own spouse. Then who is a grihastha? Grihe tishtati yaha iti grihastha. The one who remains in the home, who does not wander like a parivrajika sannyasi. Home is the place to be, and hence grihastha. But who is really a grihastha? The grihastha is one who performs a yajnas, who leads a yajna based life. Then what are yajnas? Yajnas are those that are mandated by the Vedas. Shrutya vihitaha shreyaskaraha nrinam. For all the entire humanity, what will be beneficial? All those yajnas are described where? Shruti, Vedas, Agnihotras, Sandhya Vandanam. Then if you want any particular goals, then there are sadhanas for that. But today, how many people are doing Agnihotra? How many are doing Sandhya Vandanam? So in today's modern times, yajna is simply what? Let us perform the nitya karmas, my role to the best of my ability. At least my duty I can offer as a yajna. And we have seen a lot about yajnas in chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita. So the one who offers not only all these that I've mentioned, Sandhya Vandanam and Nitya Karmas, but Pancha Mahayajnas is supposed to be compulsory for a Grihastha. Because the Grihastha is the only earning stage. And hence, Rishi Yajna, Deva Yajna, and Pitra Yajna, Manusha Yajna, Bhuta Yajnas have to be performed by all Grihasthas. Why? Because they will get Punyam, and Punyam will translate to Sukham. And so very important here, the Grihastha way of life is devotion to Yajna. And with that, we come to the last question of today, the last set of questions. 50th shloka. Kasya kriya hi safala, kasya kriya hi safala, yaha punaracharavan shishtaha, kaha shishtaha, yaha veda pramanavam, kaha hataha, kriya bhrashtaha. Again, let us split it into the questions. Verse 50. Kasya kriya hi safalaha. Kriya, whose actions become safalaha, bear fruit. And the answer is the one who follows dharma. Easy answer. Yaha punaha acharavan shishtaha. The one who follows achara, who follows dharma and discipline. Yeah. Then kaha shishtaha, who is a learned person? Yaha veda pramanavan. Yaha veda pramanavan is who has knowledge of the Vedas. We will come to that also. So here, whose actions are bear fruit. Yeah? The one who follows dharma. Bear fruit means success. Will translate into sukham, into prosperity, abhyudaya. One who follows dharma will reap the punya drishta phala. Then kaha shishtaha, who is this learned person? No? The one who is veda pramanavan. No? Remember, we had a discussion of pramana when we did Kaivalya Upanishad. See, our eyes, ears, the pancha jnanendriyas are pratyaksha pramana. Pratyaksha pramana means they will bring in data from the current world around me. Yeah? Pratyaksha pramana. But the Veda pramana is meant for knowing things that are beyond my perception. How do I know there is papa, punyam, dharma, adharma, svarga, moksha? Only the Veda is the pramana for that. So the one who is devoted to the Vedas, both Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda, is a Shishtaha, learned person. Yeah? Because he will employ the right sadhana to fulfill the right goals, and then he will come to the Jnana Kanda and gain moksha also. Yeah? Very, very important to consider the Vedas as a pramana. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam te karya karyau vyavasthitau. Gita, chapter 17, we saw the shloka, some of us. What is to be done? Karya, what is not to be done? Akarya, Shastram Pramanam te. For you, Tava, Shastram or Veda is the Pramanam. Then the last question here was Kaha Hataha. Hataha means finished, destroyed. Yeah, we are also finished with the class now, almost. But here it is kaha hataha, who is destroyed in a negative sense. Kriya bhrashtaha, the one who abandons his or her duties. Yeah, the one who does not perform the duties mandated by the Vedas as per the stage of life. So, so that is why it is said that every stage, when we follow the Varnashrama Dharma, then we are guided very smoothly through life from one stage to the next. Yeah. And in the Brahmachari stage, we have these duties, dharma-oriented duties. Then in Grahastha, we have karma-based duties. Then Vanaprastha, we have upasana-based duties. And Sannyasa, the only duty is Shravanam, devotion to the Lord. But how will we get this maturity going from one stage to the next, gradually and kramena, with devotion in every stage. So with that, we completed 50 shlokas today. And again, Shastra is emphasizing, all these values that are getting lost, unfortunately, in modern times. Yeah. Children are only going to imbibe all this subconsciously. Yeah. If you tell them, don't tell a lie, beta. And then on the phone call, I tell my child to say, I'm not there at home, although I am there. So then how can the child learn the value? So then only by setting an example are we going to pass on these values to others. So very, very important that all this that we're studying, so let us implement a satsanga with our family, do at least one arati with them together, have a story time session, 15 minutes. I still have a few friends, a grahani, and she has 3 children, and she compels them to listen to the stories, to do arati, and living a very, very Vedic based life even today. And there are some friends in America who are just speaking to each other in Sanskritam. And bring me the water, don't go out now, can you buy some tomatoes from the mall? So it is how much priority we give, to all this dharma and the values. And then we can choose to implement a few in our life. And definitely the young tender minds will pick them up. Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.